Timeless expeditions, expeditions beyond the ordinary.
Hello everyone, this is Jim Cape again with another video about our upcoming cruise. I know you're looking forward to the information we got today because we've got a guest presenter that will be coming on shortly. Today we're going to talk about 2 ports of call. Actually, it's 3, isn't it? It's 3 ports of call. The first one is Manta, Ecuador, and then Lima, Peru, and then Calista, Peru, I think is the... Pisco, Peru. That's right. I was just corrected. Isn't it nice to have somebody there? It's like Google right there giving me all the information. Anyway, so I want to talk about Ecuador, Manta, Ecuador. It is a couple days after we land in Costa Rica and go on our river cruise there. We're going to go to Ecuador, the country that is named after the equator because it sits right on the equator. It will be the first time that we've been able to actually sail across the equator going into the southern hemisphere. This is one of the reasons why we're having so much trouble packing, is because we're going from a cooler climate to a tropical climate to equatorial climate, all the way down to the Antarctic Circle. So it's going to be quite an adventure just to pack for this. Anyway, in Ecuador, we're likely going to be able to go to a shore excursion where they make Panama hats. As it turns out, Panama hats were invented in Ecuador, not in Panama. Feature that. The Panama hats are actually made out of strands of a certain plant that they harvest there, and the strands are cut down smaller and smaller and smaller to where they get very fine and very soft. I'm looking forward to seeing how those are made, and if a certain deal can be made, I might come home with one. But if it's looking like a Panama hat's 200 bucks, I'm gonna come home with things just like this. So after we leave Ecuador, we're continuing on for, I think, a day at sea, and then we move on to Lima, Peru. At Lima, Peru, we are going to get off the boat for our big excursion. And for the big excursion, I'm going to have a guest presenter here for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome and a round of applause for Miss Tina Cape.
Ooh, hello. Okay, so we actually have an overnight in Lima, so the ship will arrive there. We are going to get off of the ship and head directly to the airport so that we can fly from Lima to Cusco up in the mountains of Peru. So it's in the Andes Mountains, and then we will overnight in Cusco before we head the next day over to the ruins of Machu Picchu. That's Incan ruins. While we're in Cusco, though, we are going to be searching out what is called the 12-angle stone. It's very unique. It's got 12 angles, and it's fit into a wall that is in that makes up the palace of the Archbishop of Cusco. And it is supposedly located not far from the main square, so we are hoping to be able to venture out and get to find that. And Jim should be putting a picture of that stone for your reference. So then in Machu Picchu, the next morning we'll take a train, we'll take a bus, we'll get there, we'll tour the site, and then head back to Cusco again for the night. So 2 nights in Cusco. In the ruins themselves, we are looking to do some hiking in the main plaza area. I've looked at a couple of maps, and it should be very interesting. We'll take our own photos, so hopefully the iconic photos that you see online, we'll get our own version, so we won't be stealing other people's when we post pictures, which will be fantastic. So then we're in Cusco that night, and then we head back to the airport the next morning, and we will fly back to Lima and then get on a bus and transfer from Lima airport down to Pisco. But one of the things that I wanted to share is that the 2-day tour that we are taking, because we are leaving the ship and we're going to be in country for an extended period of time, we could do that on our own. We would just need to notify guest services on the ship that that is our plan. However, we chose to do our excursion with Princess because we felt more comfortable that they would know from start to finish, from the time we leave the ship until the time we get back to the ship, exactly where we are. Last year there was some unrest in Peru that affected airports, it affected some of the sites, and so just as an extra precaution, we felt it best to stay with an organized group that was with the ship. If for some reason we get detained and we aren't able to get back to Pisco, then the cruise line will be responsible for getting us to the following port. So normally with an overnight we wouldn't be as concerned about that, but because again we're going further in country, there's flights, there's all kinds of different things involved. That's why we chose to do it this way. One thing that we are going to miss in Pisco, there is an opportunity from there to go on a flight seeing tour of the Nazca lines, which we won't be able to do because of timing, and I am just hoping someday we'll be able to return back to South America, to Peru, so that we can actually go and take a look at that, which is fascinating to me. So that concludes this section, and I think our next video, well, we've got a couple of sea days after this, and then where do we go? South. We head south into Chile after Pisco. So that is it for this time.
All right, and this is Jim, and this is Tina, and we will be signing off now. Please continue to watch our videos, and then follow the channel on Facebook, our Timeless Expeditions channel, because that will be the only place to see the in-country videos as we post them.
That's
so
right.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching us, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Timeless Expeditions, expeditions beyond the ordinary.